sad am I, but very wise. A magic day he passed my way, and while we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever.
Who's there? Answer me. Stand and unfold yourself!
Hail to your lordship.
Horatio! Or I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Oh, my good friend, I'll change that name with thee. What make thee from Wittenberg? Oh, I'm very glad to see you.
Ah, my good lord.
But what if they make you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition, good my lord.
I would not hear your enemy say so, nor shall you do my ear that violence to make it truster of your own report against yourself. I know you are no truant, but what is your affair in Elsinore? Will teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray you do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage table. Would I'd met my dearest foe in heaven ere I'd ever seen that day, Horatio.
How now, my lord? Why looks thou pale?
My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Taken for all in all, I shall not look upon his like again.
Ah, my lord, the queen, your mother, sends me hence to entreat you to make haste. The hour has come. The guests who now assemble wait upon you.
Bid her hold her patience a while. I come by and by. Good Horatio, you are welcome to Elsinore. Since my dear soul was mistress of her choice and could of men distinguish, her election hath sealed thee for herself.
My gracious lord, I will leave you for a while. Farewell.
I am sent expressly to your lordship.
Soft you now, I come.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with mirth and funeral and with dirge and marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we here embarred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks. Now follows that you know, young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death the state to be disjoint and out of frame, hath not failed to pester us with message demanding the surrender of those lands lost by his father with all bonds of law to our most valiant brother. So much for him. Now, for ourselves, and at this time of meeting, thus much the business is. We have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who, weakening and bedrid, scarcely hears of this, his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gait herein. And we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Volterman, for bearing of this greeting to old Norway. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty.
In that and in all things we will show our duty.
And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is Laertes? The head is not more native to the heart than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dear lord, your leave and favour to return to France, from whence, though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow then to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, thy time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, our cousin Hamlet and our son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy knightly colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, 'tis common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam, nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor the windy suspiration of forced breath. No, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected haviour of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shows of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have that within which passeth show, these but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolence is a course of ungodly stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief, shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. Why, 'tis a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason, most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and who still hath cried, from the first corpse to he that died today, this must be so. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart towards you. As for your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, kinsman, and our son.
Let not your mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God! God! How weary, stale, flat and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Oh, fie upon it, fie. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely that it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr, so loving of my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month. Let me not think on it. Frailty thy name is, woman, a little month. Or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why, she... Oh, God. A beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, yet no more like my father than I to Hercules, within a month. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Soft you a word, my lord.
Horatio?
Friends to this ground and liegemen to the Dane.
Hail to your lordship, my good lord.
I'm very glad to see you both.
Pray, give them leave. They would speak a word with you.
The matter, then, speak. By heaven, I charge thee, speak.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father?
Season your admiration for a while with an attent ear till I may deliver this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together have these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead waste, the middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure like your father appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and steady, whilst they, distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stood dumb and spoke not to him. This to me in dreadful secrecy did they impart.
I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
Upon the platform where we watch.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none.
Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion like as it would speak. But even then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste away.
Now I have heard, the cock that is the trumpet to the day doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day. And at his warning, whether in sea or fire, in earth or air, the itinerant and erring spirit hies to his confine. And of the truth therein their witness now doth make probation.
It's very strange.
As I do live, my honoured lord, 'tis true. And we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Saw you his face?
Yes.
How looked he? Frowningly?
Countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
And his eyes fixed upon you?
Most constantly.
Would I have been there?
It would have much amazed me.
Very like. Hold you again the watch tonight.
We do, my lord.
To chance it will walk again. If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it. Though all hell should gape and bid me hold my peace, I pray you both. If you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be held within your silence still. And whatsoever else shall pass tonight, give it an understanding but no tongue. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honour.
Your love as mine to you. Farewell. All is not well. Would the night would come. Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth overwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convoys assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
I see Prince Hamlet makes a show of love. Beware. Ophelia, do not trust his vows. Hold it a fashion and a toy in blood. A violet in the spring of primy nature, fleeting, not permanent. Sweet, not lasting. The suppliants of the moment, no more.
No more but so.
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, and now his tongue speaks from his heart, but yet take heed. His greatness weighed, his will is not his own. For he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, choose for himself. For on his choice depends the sanctity and health of this whole state. And therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body whereof he is the head. Then, if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as he, in his especial rank and force, may give his saying deed, and weigh what loss your honor may sustain. If with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister. And keep within the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire.
I shall, the effect of this good lesson, keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not as some ungodly pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst, like a puffed and reckless libertine himself, the primrose path of dalliance treads, and heeds not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not.
Yet here, Laertes.
I stay too long, but here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Aboard, for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There my blessing with you, and these few precepts in thy memory. See thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. The friends thou hast and their allegiance tried, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrades. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it that the opposite may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. This above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow, as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell!
What is it, Ophelia, he had said to you?
Oh, so please you. Something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought, has told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as it becomes my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection towards me.
Affection, you speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Well, Mary, I will teach you. Think yourself a baby that you've taken his tenders for true pay, which are not sterling.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honourable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with all the vows of heaven.
I do know when the blood burns, how prodigally the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, you must not take for fire. For this time, daughter, be somewhat scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than a command to parley. For Lord Hamlet, believe so much in him that he is royal, and with a larger tether may he walk than may be given you. In brief, do not believe his vows. And for my own part, I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment's leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you.
I shall obey, my lord.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
Now it has struck. Indeed, I heard it not.
Well, then it draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. Thus twice before, and just at this dead hour, with martial stalk hath he gone by our watch. In what particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Good you now. Canst tell me, if you know, why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly guards the subject of the land? And why such daily casts of brazen cannon and foreign trade for implements of war? What might be toward that this sweaty haste doth make the night joint labourer with the day?
To the wars, my boy. To the wars. Or at least the whisper goes so. But our last king was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, where thereto pricked on by a most ambitious pride, dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet did slay this Fortinbras, who, by a sealed compact, did forfeit with his life all those his lands which he stood seized of to the conqueror. Now, sir, young Fortinbras, of unimproved metal, hot and full, hath, in the skirts of Norway here and there, sharked up a troop of lawless resolutes, for to recover of us, by strong hand, those foresaid lands so by his father lost. And this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations, and the chief head of this great haste and turmoil in the land.
I think it be no other, but even so.
I'm well studied for a liberal thanks, which I do owe you.
Marcellus, Bernardo.
My honoured lord.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air. Has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Well, what does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse, keeps wassail and a swaggering upspring reels, and as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Oh, is it a custom?
Aye, marry it is. To my mind, though I am native here and to the manor born, it is a custom more honoured in the breach than the observance.
Oh, please bring the offer!
Look, my lord, he called you sinner like the king! Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned. Bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak with thee. I'll call thee Hamlet. King. Father. Royal Dane. Oh, answer me.
It beckons you to go away with it.
Do not go.
Will not answer me, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee. As for my soul, what can it do to that being a thing immortal as itself? It weighs me forth again, I will follow it.
What if it tempted towards the flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that o'ertops his base into the sea, and there assume some other horrible form which might deprive you of your reason and draw you into madness? Think of it.
It weighs me still, I will follow it.
You shall not go,
my lord! Your hands!
Be rude, you shall not go!
My fate cries out and makes each petty artery in this body as hard is than a Nemean lion's nerve. And have me, gentlemen, or by God, I'll make a ghost of him that stays me. I said away. Go on! I'll follow thee!
He waxes desperate with imagination.
But 'tis not fit thus to obey him.
What issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct him.
Nay, let's follow him.
Wilt thou lead me? Speak! I'll go no further. Speak, I am bound to hear.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul and freeze thy noble veins. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, Hamlet. Oh, list. If thou didst ever thy dear father love,
oh God,
revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul as in the best it is. But this, most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I with wings as swift as meditation may sweep to my revenge.
It is given out that sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. So the whole air of Denmark is by a forged process of my death, rankly abused. But know thou, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, mine uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast with witchcraft of his wits, won to his shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there from me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand even with the vow I made to her in marriage, and to decline upon a wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of thine, but soft. Methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always in the afternoon, upon my restful hour, thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed Hebanon in a vial, and in the porches of mine ear did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man, that swift as quicksilver it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body, and with a sudden vigor it doth toss it, and curd like acid dropping into milk the thin and wholesome blood. So did it mine, and soon a foul eruption barked about, most leper-like, with vile and loathsome crust all my smooth body. Thus was I, sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown and queen at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossom of my sin, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible. Oh, horrible. Most horrible. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near. Adieu. Adieu. Hamlet, remember me!
Remember thee? Aye, thou poor ghost. Memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee, from the tables of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, all sores of books, all forms, all precious past that youth and observation copied there. And thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of this brain, unmixed with baser matter. Oh yes, yes, by heaven! Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain. Villain. Smiling, damned villain! Ah, my table's meat it is. I set it down that one may smile and be a villain. So, uncle, there you are. Now, to my word, it is adieu, adieu, remember me, and I have sworn it.
My lord, Hamlet, secure.
So be it.
Oh, how is it, my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Wonderful.
Oh, good, my lord, tell it.
Nay, but you'll reveal it.
Well, not I, my lord.
Nor I. I'll say you then, but you'll be secret.
Aye, by heaven, my lord.
It's not a villain dwelling in all Denmark, but he's an arrant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us that.
Why, right. You are in the right. It is an honest ghost, that let me tell you. As for your desire to know what stands between us, oh, a master, and as you may, and now, good friends, grant me one poor request.
Well, what is, my lord?
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it. Ah, old boy, sayest thou so? Come, you hear this, fellow, consent to swear.
I propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Yet swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
Then we'll move our ground. Come, here, upon my hand. Never to speak of this that you have heard tonight. Well said, old mole. Canst work in the ground so fast. Once more remove, good friend.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
For as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in our philosophy. But come here as before and swear.
My heaven, I swear.
Rest, rest, perturbed spirit. And swear besides, howe'er so strange or odd I bear myself, as I, perchance hereafter, shall think it meet to put an antic disposition on, that you at such times seeing me never shall with arms encumbered thus or thus head shake, or by the pronouncing of some doubtful phrases, ooh, well, we know. Oh, we could, and if we would, that you know aught of me, swear.
By heaven, I swear.
Gentlemen, with all my love, I do commend me to you. And still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right.
Ophelia, what's the matter?
Alas, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of heaven?
My lord, as I was sewing in my chamber, Lord Hamlet with his doublet all unbraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous and purport as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so, when at last, his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh, so piteous and profound that it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go. And with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their help, and to the last bended their light on me.
This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property fordoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings, as oft as any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. What, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord. But as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better speed and judgment I had not noted him. I feared he did but trifle, and meant to wreck thee. Come, go we to the king. This must be known. What duty is, why day is day, night night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs' outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, I call it, for to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else than mad? But let that go.
More matter with less art?
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. Mad, let us grant him then, and now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect. I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me, and more above hath his solicitings, as they fell out by time, by means, and place, all given to mine ear.
But how has she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honourable.
I would fain prove so, but what might you think if I had seen this hot love on the wing, as I perceived it? I must tell you that, before my daughter told me. What might you, or my dear majesty, your queen here, think if I had played the board or go-between, or looked upon this love with idle sight? What might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. This must not be. And then I process gave her that she should lock herself from his society, admit no messengers, receive no tokens, which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, thence into a weakness, thence into the madness, wherein now he raged.
Do you think 'tis this?
Oh, it may be. Very likely.
Hath there been such a time, I would fain know that I have positively said 'tis so, when it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise. If circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed within the center.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks for hours here in the lobby.
So he does, indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras then, mark the encounter. If he laugh or not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carters. Away! I humbly beseech you both! Away! Away! How does my good lord?
Well, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent, excellent, well of faith. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Well, then, would you were so honest a man?
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir, to be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That is very true, my lord.
Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Well, let her not walk in the sun. Look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. What? Do you read, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between whom, sir?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Oh, slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands, all of which, sir, I most powerfully and potently do believe, yet I do not hold it honesty to have it thus set down. You, sir, could grow old as I am if, like a crab, you could go backwards.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave?
My honourable lord, I will take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part with all. Except my life. Except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die. To sleep. No more. And by asleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of disprized love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin. Who would these fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but for the dread of something after death? The undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns. It puzzles the will. It makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought. And enterprises of great pitch and moment, in this regard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action.
From Norway are joyfully returned.
They're welcome both. Let them have kind admission. How do I long to hear how they were found.
Welcome, good friend.
Say, Voltamund, what from our brother Norway?
Most fair return of greetings and desires. Sovereign Lord, the word of peace is rendered between our nation and its neighbour state.
Heavens thank thee for it.
Upon our first, he sent out to suppress his nephew's levies, which to him appeared to be preparations against the Polish. But, better looked into, he truly found it was against your highness. Sends out arrests on Fortinbras, which he in brief obeys, receives rebuke from Norway, and in fine, makes vow before his uncle nevermore to give the assay of arms against your majesty. Whereon old Norway, overcome with joy, gives him permission to employ those soldiers so levied as before against the Polish, with an entreaty herein further shown that it might please you to give peaceful passage through your dominions for his enterprise.
It likes us well, and at a more considered time we'll read, answer, and think upon this business. Meantime, we thank you for your well-took labour. Go to your rest. Tonight we'll dine together.
I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king.
Most welcome home.
This business is well ended.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may here confront Ophelia. Her father and myself will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love, or no, that thus he suffers for.
I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death, and our hasty marriage. For your part, Ophelia, I do wish your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues shall bring him to his wonted way again.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here, read on this book, that show of such an exercise may colour your loneliness.
Let's withdraw, my lord.
Fair Ophelia, nymph in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honour for this many a day?
Humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honoured lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their him left, take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
Yes, my lord.
I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe
You
so.
should not have believed that I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, yet I could accuse me of such things. It were better my mother had not borne me. I'm very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offences at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should fools as I do, crawling between heaven and earth? We're arrant knaves all. Believe none of us. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut on him, that he may play the fool no ever in his own house.
Oh, help him, free to heaven.
If thou dost, Mary, I will give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Now get thee to a nunnery, and quickly too. If thou wilt marry, marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him.
God hath given you one face, and you make yourself another. You amble, you lisp, you jig, you nickname God's creatures. You make your wantonness, your ignorance. Go to, I'll no more of it. It hath made me mad. I say we shall have no more marriages. All those that are married, all but one shall live. The rest shall stay as they are. Now, to a nunnery, go.
Oh, what a noble mind is here overthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mould of form, the observed of all observers quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music, thou now see that noble and most sovereign reason like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh. That unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me. To have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Love, his affections do not that way tend, nor what he spoke, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness.
But yet do I believe the origin and commencement of this grief springs from neglected love.
Now, there's something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits unbrewed. And I do fear the hatch and the disclose will be some danger.
How now, my good lord?
You need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all.
Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something you have heard of Hamlet's transformation. So I call it, since not the exterior nor the inward man resembles what it was. What it should be, more than his father's death, that thus has put him so much from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that being of so young days, brought up with him, and since so neighboured to his youth and humours, to draw him on to pleasures, and to glean whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that disclosed lies within our purpose.
He hath of late much talked of you, good sirs, and sure I am, 2 men that are not living to whom he more adheres. If it shall please you to show us so much kindness and goodwill as to expend your time with us a while for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive from us such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Heaven make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Yeah, thanks, gentle Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Volterman, I charge you bring the gentleman where Hamlet is.
Go you to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is.
God save you!
Mine honoured lord!
My most dear lord!
My dear good friends, Guildenstern, how dost thou? Oh, Rosencrantz, good lads! How do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we're not over-happy. On fortune's cap, we're not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe.
Neither, my lord.
And you live somewhere about her waist or in the middle of her favour?
Faith, her privates, we... Oh, no.
What's the news?
Oh, none, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Oh, then is doomsday near. But what have you deserved at the hands of fortune that she hath sent you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord?
Denmark is a prison.
Then is the world one?
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
I think not so, my lord.
And 'tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. But to me it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh, God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space. Were it not that I have bad dreams, but no such matter. What make you from England?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Were you not sent for? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come. Come, they speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Well, anything but to the purpose. No, you were sent for. There's a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to cover. I know the good queen and king have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship, be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or not.
My lord, we were sent for.
I shall tell you why, so shall my anticipation prevent your discovery. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. Forgone all custom of exercise. Indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air. Look you, this brave, o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, where it appeareth to me no other thing but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapours. What a piece of work is a man. How noble in reason, infinite in faculty. Form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world. The paragon of animals. Yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you would seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Then why did you laugh when I said man delights not me?
Well, be with you, gentlemen.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news.
Buzz, buzz.
My lord, I do entreat your patience to hear me speak the message I have sent on. The outlaws are come hither, my lord, upon my honor.
Oh, gentlemen, give me your hands. You are welcome to Elsinore, but my uncle, father, and aunt, mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a hand, sir. What players are they?
Even those who are wont to take the light in, the tragedians of the city, the best the best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical historical pastoral.
How chances it they travel? Do they hold the same estimation they did when I was in the city? Are they so followed? How comes it? Do they go rusty? Come on, man, about it!
They attendeth here hard by to know your answer, whether you will admit them or no.
Let the doors be open to them! Masters, you are welcome! Welcome all! Oh, my good old friend! I am glad to see thee well. Oh, what, thy face is bearded since I saw thee last. Ah, my young lady, and my mistress. Mwah! Oh, masters, you are welcome all. Come, we'll e'en to it like French falconers. Fly at anything we see. We'll have a speech straight. Come, passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak a speech once, though it was never acted, or if it was, not above once, for the play I remember, Please Not the Million. Though it was as I received it, and others whose judgment in such matters cries in the top of mine, an excellent play. One speech in it I chiefly loved. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast? No, 'tis not so. It begins, Pyrrhus, the rugged Pyrrhus. He whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the night resemble when he lay couched in the ominous horse, hath now his dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal, head to foot the blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons. Thus, o'ersized with coagulate gore, the hellish Pyrrhus old grandsire Priam seeks. No. So proceed you.
Anon he finds it, striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, rejecting all command. Unequal matched Pyrrhus at Priam drives. In rage, strikes wide, but with the wit and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then did the senseless city seem to feel this blow, and with a hideous crash take prisoner Pyrrhus' ears. For lo, his sword, which was declining upon the milky head of the reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. So as a painted tyrant, Pyrrhus stood and did nothing. But as we often see before a storm, a silence in the heavens, the clouds stand still, the bold wind speechless, and the orb below as hush as death. Anon the dreadful thunder doth rend the region. So after Pyrrhus' pause, a roused vengeance set anew a work. And never did the Cyclops' hammer fall on Mars his armors, forged for perfect turn, with less remorse than Pyrrhus' bleeding sword that fell on Priam.
Say on. Come to Hecuba.
But who had seen the mobled queen run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with blinding tears? A cloth about her head where late a crown had stood, and for a robe around her gaunt and blood-soaked limbs, a blanket in the alarm of fear caught up. Who had this scene with tongue in venom steeped against fortune's state would treason have pronounced? And if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant scream of horror that she made, unless things mortal move them not at all, would have made weep the burning eyes of heaven. A passion in the god.
Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his whole conceit that from my working all his visage won, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, indeed his whole form suiting with functions to his conceit, and all for nothing? For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him? Or he to her, that he should weep for her? What would he do? Had he the motive and cue for passion that I have? Then he would drown the stage with tears, cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty, appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy metalled rascal, peak like John o' Dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Why, I should take it. It cannot be, but I am. Pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I would have fatted all the region kites with this slave's offal. Bloody bawdy villain! Remorseless, lecherous, treacherous, kindless villain! Oh, vengeance! What an ass am I. This is most brave, that I, the son of the dear murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must first, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a very drab scullion, fly upon it, foe, about my brain. I've heard it said that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick, and if he do but blench, I know my course. 'Tis Well, I'll have thee speak out the rest soon. Good my lord, will you see these players are well bestowed, and look, they are well used, for they are the abstract and brief chronicles of the time.
My lord, I will use them according to their desert.
For God's sake, man, better! We use every man after their desert, and who shall escape whipping? Use them after your own honour and dignity. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
The murder of Gonzago?
The same.
Aye, my lord.
Well, have it tonight. You could, for my sake, study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and have inserted in it. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord, and look you mock him not. My dear good friends, I'll leave you till tonight. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
The play is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Villain! Villain! Smiling, damned villain! That a brother should be so perfidious!
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you. Trippingly on the tongue. For if you mouth it, as many of your players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my lines. No, do not saw the air too much with your hands, thus, but use all gently, for in the torrent, tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness.
I warrant, your honour.
Be not too tame, neither. Let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action. With this special observance that you overstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end both now and at the first was and is as 'twere, to hold the mirror up to nature. To show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image. The very age and body of the time, his form and pressure. Oh, there be players that I have seen play and heard others praise, and that highly, which, not to speak it profanely, have so strutted and bellowed that I thought that nature's apprentices had made men, and not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably.
I hope we have reformed that indifferently with us, sir.
Go, make you ready. Oh, how now, good friends, will the king hear this piece of work?
And the queen too, and that presently.
Bid the players make haste. Will you two help to hasten them?
We will, my lord.
Say what? Is Horatio here?
A piece of him.
How now, good friend, what news?
Is it not very strange? Thine uncle is king of Denmark, and those that would make mouths at him while your father lived give 20, 40, 100 crowns apiece for his picture in little. There is something in this more than natural if philosophy could find it out.
Oh, Horatio. Oh, it is just a man as e'er my conversation copped withal.
Ah, my dear lord.
I do not think I flatter thee, for what advancement may I hope from thee that no revenue hast, save thy good spirits to feed and clothe thee? Give me that man that is not fortune's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core. Aye, my heart of hearts, as I do thee.
Something too much of this.
Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I pray thee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the utmost shrewdness of thine eyes, observe mine uncle. If his disguised guilt do not itself unravel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen, that give him heedful note.
I will, my lord. If he steal aught while this play is playing and escape detecting, I will pay the theft.
They're coming to the play. I must prepare.
Can you by no drift of circumstance get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly all our days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacies?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak, nor do we find him forward to be sounded.
Did he receive you well?
Oh, most like a gentleman.
Sparing of question, but of our demands, most free in his reply.
Then, with a crafty madness, he keeps aloof when you would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Gets you a place.
How fares our gracious Hamlet?
Excellent, excellent. Well, Ife, of the chameleon's dish, I eat the promise crammed. You cannot feed capon, so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now, neither. Now, my good lord, you played once at the university, you say.
That I did, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
And what did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol.
Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Oh, come hither, my good Hamlet. Come sit by me.
No, good mother. Here's metal more attractive. Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
Lay my head upon your lap. Did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
Well, there's a fair thought to lie between a maid's legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
What should a man do but be merry? For look you, how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within, 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis yet 2 months.
So long! Oh, heavens! Died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. Well, then there's hope a great man's memory might outlive his life by half a year.
You are naught. I'll mark the play.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round, Neptune salt wash, and Tellus orbit ground, since love our hearts, and Hymen did our hands unite commutual in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count over ere love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state. For women, fear and love hold quantity in neither aught or extremity, and what my love is, proof, have made you know. Thus, as my love is sized, my fear is so.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers and functions leave to do, and thou must live in this fair world behind, honored and loved, and happily one is kind, for husband shalt thou...
Oh, confound the rest. Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first?
Wormwood! Wormwood!
The instances that second marriage move are base respects of thrift, but none of love. The second time I kill my husband dead, when second husband kisses me in bed.
I do believe you think now what you speak, but what we do determine, oft we break. This world is not for aye, nor 'tis not strange, that even our loves should with our fortunes change. For 'tis a question left us yet to prove, whether love leads fortune, or else fortune's love. But orderly to end where I begun, our wills and fates do so contrary run, that our devices still are overthrown. Our thoughts are ours, the ends none of our own. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Not earth to give me food or heaven light. Rest and repose lock me from day and night. Each instrument that fouls the face of joy meet what I would have well and it destroy. Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once a widow, ever I be wife.
Oh, if she should break it now.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep.
Sleep, rock thy brain.
and never come this chance between us twain.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offence in it?
There's no offence in the world. It's the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the Duke's name, Baptista his wife. Oh, you shall see anon, 'tis a knavish piece of work, but what of that, your majesty, and we that have free souls, it touches us not.
What means this, my lord?
Oh, this is one Lucianus, nephew to the king.
Will you tell us what this means?
This means mischief. Thoughts, black, hands apt, drugs fit and time agreeing, confederate season, else no creature seeing. Thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, of witches' curse, thrice blasted, thrice infected, thy natural magic and dire property on wholesome life usurp immediately.
Villain! Smiling, damned villain! That a
He
brother...
poisons him in the garden for his estate. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of the old man's wife.
The king rises.
What, frighted with false fire?
How fares my lord?
Give all the play!
Give me some light!
Away! Away!
Would not this, sir, and a forest of feathers get me a cry in a fellowship of players?
Half a share.
Oh, music! Come, some music! Oh, Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. Disperceive.
Very well, my
On
lord.
the talk of poisoning.
I did very well note him.
Oh,
Good my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
oh, history, sir.
The king, sir,
Aye, sir, what of him?
is in his retirement marvellous distempered.
Oh, with drink, sir.
No, my lord, rather with choler.
Well, your wisdom would show itself the richer to signify this to his doctor.
Good my lord, put your discourse into some frame and start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir, pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent us to you.
You're welcome.
Nay! This courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make a wholesome answer, we will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon and our return shall be the end of our business.
Well, I cannot, sir.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But to the matter, you say, my mother?
Then thus she says your behaviour has struck her into amazement and admiration.
Oh, wonderful son that can so astonish a mother.
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey her, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
And still do. By these pickers and stealers.
Good, my lord. What is your cause of distemper?
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be when you have the voice of the king himself in Denmark?
Can you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
Beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lords.
'Tis as easy as lying. Govern these ventages with your fingers and thumbs, give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most excellent music. Look, you hear the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Look, you now, how unworthy a thing you would make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. Yet there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ, yet cannot you make it speak? What, do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you fret me, you cannot play upon me. Go by you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Oh, do you see yonder cloud? It's almost in the shape of a camel.
It is indeed like a camel.
He thinks it's like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
It is very like a whale.
I come to my mother by and by. By and by I come.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. They fool me to the top of my bent. Leave me, friends. and churchyards yawn, and hell itself breathes out contagion to the world. Now might I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look upon. Soft now to my mother. Oh, heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, but not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none.
Like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness rage. Therefore, prepare you. I, your commission, will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall return with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazards so dangerous as doth hourly grow out of his lunacies. What think you on it?
Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty. The cease of which my lord dies not alone, but like a gulf doth draw what's near it with it.
Thus set it down. He shall with speed to England. Perhaps the seas and countries different with variable aspect shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating puts a muscle fashion of himself.
'Tis wisely spoke.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put upon this fear that now goes too free-footed.
We will ourselves provide.
My lord is going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras I'll convey myself to hear the process. 'Tis meet that some more audience than a mother, since nature makes them partial, should o'erhear the speech of vantage.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal, eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent, and like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I should first begin, and both neglect. But if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood, is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? But who serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? Then I look up, my fault is past. Oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder, that cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense. In the corrupted currents of this world, offence's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself buys off the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature. And we ourselves, compelled even to the teeth and forehead of our faults to give in evidence. What then? What's left? Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state. Oh, bosom black as death. O lamed soul that's struggling to be free art more engaged. Help, angels, make a say. Bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel. Be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it. Now he is praying. Now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. Well, that will be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his foul son, to that same villain sent to heaven. Oh, this is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread with all his crimes, broad blown as fresh as May. And how his audit stands, who knows, save heaven, but in our circumstance and course of thought, 'tis heavy with him. Am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that hath no relish of salvation in it, then I'll trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and his soul may be as black and damned as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thought never to heaven go.
You lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him.
No, not for all the riches under heaven. I pray you, do not push me.
I hear him coming. I will silence me. Mother! Even here. Pray you be round with him.
Mother! Oh, Mother. What's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Have you forgotten me?
No, you are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would you were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, set you down. You go not. You shall not budge till I set you up a glass, wherein you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help! Help!
How now? A rat?
Romain! What hast thou done?
No, not. Is it the king?
Oh! What rash and bloody deed is this?
Bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Oh, thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. I took thee for thy better. Farewell. Now leave wringing of your hands, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom have not brazed it so that it is proof and bulwark against sense.
What have I done? That thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act as blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, makes marriage vows as false as dicer's oaths.
I mean, what that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here, upon this picture, and on this. The counterfeit presentment of two brothers. Now, see what a grace was seated on his brow. Hyperion's curls are the front of Jove himself, and I, like Mars, to threaten or command a station, like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill. A combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set its seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you from this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Have you eyes? Well, you cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood, it's tame and humble and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? What devil was it that thus hath cozened you at blind man's bluff? Oh, shame. Where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutiny in a matron's bones to flaming youth, let virtue be as wax and melt in her own fire.
Oh, speak no more! Don't turn mine eyes into my very soul! And there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave them tinct.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Please speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in mine ears no more, sweet.
A murderer! A villain! A slave that is not the 20th part the worth of your preceding lord and king of vices, a cutpurse of the empire and the rule, a king of shreds and patches. O'er me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would you, say? Do you not come your tardy son to chide, that lapsed in time and passion lets go by the important acting of your dread command? Speak!
Do not forget. This visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look. Amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is't with you, lady?
Alas, how is't with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Gentle sun, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him. Look you how pale he glares. Do not look upon me.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
No, nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Well, did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Look you, my father, in his habit, as he lived.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy, my pulse, as yours, doth temperately keep time and makes his healthful music. 'Tis not madness that I have uttered. Mother, put me to the test, and I some matter will repeat which madness would fly from for love of grace. Lay not a flattering unction unto your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but film and skin the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption mining all within infects unseen.
Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Throw away the worser part of it and live the purer with the other half. Repent what is past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rank, I pray you. Go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy.
Oh, Eve, what have I done?
I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad begins and worse remains behind. And when thou art desirous to be blessed, I will blessings beg of you. And for this same Lord I do repent me, but hell hath deemed it so to punish me with this and this with me.
What shall I do?
Do not let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, or for a pair of reachy kisses, or by paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, force you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
Oh, I'll lug the guts into the neighbour room, mother, good night. Indeed, this counsellor is now most still, most secret, and most grave. Who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir. Good night, mother.
Where is your son? What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad, as the seas and winds that do contend, which is the mightier? In his lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, he whips his rapier out, he cries, a rat, and in his frantic apprehension, kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. And pray, how shall this deed be understood? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of haunt this mad young man. But so much was our love, we would not understand what was most fit, but like the owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, lest it feed even on the pit of life. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed.
I pray you now, attend me!
He weeps for what is done.
The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. And this vile deed we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Friends, all, Hamlet, in madness, hath Polonius slain. Go seek him out, speak fair, bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, haste in this. Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends to let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done.
Oh, here they come. Ha!
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where 'tis that we may take it.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That you could keep your secrets and not my own, besides to be commanded by a sponge. What replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir. Soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities, but such officers do the king best service in the end, when he needs what you have gleaned. He will but squeeze you, and sponge you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
Glad of it, a knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
The king is a thing.
A thing, my
of nothing! Bring me to him.
This man goes loose, yet we must not put the strong law on him. He's loved of the distracted multitude who like not in their judgment but their eyes. This sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Diseases desperate grown, by desperate appliance are relieved, or not at all. How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. Certain convocation of worms is at him even now. But your worm is your only emperor for diet. Your fat king and lean beggar are but variable service. 2 dishes put to one table, that's the end.
Where's Polonius?
In heaven, send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if you find him not this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs.
Go seek him there.
He will stay until you come.
Hamlet, this deed of thine, for thine especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The ship is ready, and the wind at help. Your associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou know our purpose.
Come then, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
Mother and father is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. Therefore, my mother. Come then, for England.
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, pay homage to an order here inscribed in letters, conjuring to that effect the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages.